Race car's back in the shop. Starting to do some race prep for our next race here in 2 weeks. Always pushing it close. But start putting things back together and get it ready for the next one. And this is how you build a race truck.
Alright, get the lighter.
Money talks.
Oh yeah. Get harder. Yeah.
Get it! Yeah.
Don't scratch the wheel.
So it's gonna happen. Oh, there you go. Good job.
The meter rings. So fucking extra. I put 2 drops on it. It's so much more than it needs.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Focus!
There it goes.
Hey, right about 40.
So, some of the things we're doing is cut the old shock hoop off. We are reusing the actual tube because that was fine. But we're reinforcing these plates a little bit more to get a little bit more contact to the frame. We're going to run gussets on the back side because our hoop actually bent in a little bit with the force of the coilover. We are rebuilding our hydro mounts on the front, so I'm cutting these off. So basically all the aftermarket suspension we welded in, we're cutting out. We're doing weld washers on our lower shock mount and new limit straps. So yeah, let's get to it.
I think this is exactly what I was already thinking, dude. Wow, that Sharpie's dead.
Think about it from the top down.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. It's gonna be 4 pieces of it.
Just got in our 333 Fabrications cam eliminator kit for the race truck. You can find this on Opt-Off-Road's website, but basically it deletes the round cabs that have the potential to slip and spin when you're beating the crap out of your truck, and basically ruining your alignment. But as you can see, these are basically just circles with an offset hole, and you rotate it to adjust your alignment, and these circles don't have anything to bite against these cam tabs, so they can slip pretty easily. So this eliminates any possibility of that. Eventually we need to reinforce these tabs, but for now we're just gonna send it. Yeah, and then back here, also found on Opt-Off-Road's website, are these awesome parts from a company called Eimkieth. These are all laser cut and CNC bent direct fit pieces to weld in to reinforce things. Like this is our lower link reinforcement back here. We did a pan hard correction on the back, also by Eimkieth, and this helps a lot, especially with you if you wheel your 4th gen a lot and you're not replacing your axles and all that stuff. I definitely recommend his stuff if you're running lifts and beating the crap out of your truck. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how easy this install is. Basically I just did it one bolt at a time, but you basically pull this whole cam bolt out and the sleeve. And it's really easy if your cams aren't seized. If they're seized, it's a lot more work and you might have to actually cut them out, which is a real pain in the ass. But so far we've been really lucky on this truck. We literally started this 5 minutes ago and this side is already finished. So we set our cams up to be in an orientation that'll give us more clearance. So this one's gonna be set up, oh, I rotated it a little bit vertical on like a neutral position on the front, and on the rear we're pushing the arm out so that we can clear these big tires and kind of keep it off our body mount and this portion of our fender well. So yeah, huge up to 333 Fabrications. These kits are really simple and super strong. Definitely recommend these. It's cheap and it gives you good peace of mind. I will say if you're running these, you're gonna want some kind of adjustable upper because it makes it so you can get your alignment a lot nicer. It doesn't matter too much on off-road vehicles, but especially if you highway drive it, these SPC uppers are great because you have your adjustable ball joint here, so you can adjust your camber really easily. So yeah, those are really nice to have in conjunction with those cam eliminators. Yeah. All right, I'll show you how these go together. I'm gonna need 2 hands real quick. So pull your nut off. It's a nylock, so these won't come undone. I definitely recommend maybe running some Loctite to help it out, but these plates slide on, so you have your bolt, your washer, and your plate. Then just slide these into your arm, and you can kind of wiggle your arm and get it to pop into the right spot. Bolt through. Do the same thing with your other plate. Once you get that plate on, washer, nylock, and you're done.
So after the last race, we had some issues with fuel starvation in corners. Really attributed it to the single tube pickup only being on one side. So we picked up a hydromat, and we're hoping this will solve our issues. So all we gotta do now is we have some new bulkhead fittings, lots of AN fittings, get it all, I guess, drilled in, get this in there and test it out. Eventually.
Coilover's back in on the driver's side at literally full possible droop. Upper control arm hitting the coil. This thing just fits eye to eye. So basically the longest shock you can run without cutting out your fender well on stock arms. That's what you want. But we did some bracing on the inside. We have some brackets coming off of the hoop down onto the frame to help the shock tower from leaning. On both sides, this one's kind of hard to see back there, but it's back there for sure. And the new shock mount at the top, which is a lot beefier than the last one, and it's in the right orientation. And then we did some weld washers on the lower because this hole was wallowed out. The other side I don't think needs them, but we might add them anyways.
Help.
Gas hands over here.
Well, the electrical tape just melted.
Oh.
That's all the adhesive.
Still huge.
Still looks huge.
Look, it's sitting on its own weight. In the front.
In the middle.
In the front.
Oh, okay.
Still gotta tighten some bolts in the row. Oh god. Some bolts in
Oh,
the
you're
row.
you're recording. Yeah, I know.
What are you doing, King?
I'm tightening the fuel cell back in place with Hayden.
We don't need it bolted.
No.
Zip tie.
Yeah, I don't think I've shown the fancy mounts yet.
Oh yeah.
Let me move.
Here's our new patented X design. I have no idea. It's we basically made a second mount for a fuel cell. It's an X design on the top, and then it's got these, I guess, braces front and back. So these bolt into, I guess, through the floor. We have sandwich plates top and bottom since it's just sheet metal. And this way, basically in the event of a rollover more or less, instead of just relying on these tiny bolts, which would probably just shear straight through, we have this whole design now, so it should be a lot stronger. It feels a lot stronger just as is, so let's see if it fails.
Yeah, and we got the hydromat in there, so we shouldn't have fuel pickup issues.
We're gonna find out shortly.
Put extra broccoli.
We built a Y pipe. It's very not square, and it's not flat, but everything pieces together nicely. So we're gonna slip it on to the adapters we put on our headers and see if it sounds any better. That's pretty funny, can't it? I almost changed my stance to replicate it. Oh god, it warped. Oh, I see it rotated. Maybe it warped. Finished up most all of the exhaust. We have to do hangers and our muffler. Our muffler is going to go somewhere in this section here. But we did our Y pipe right here, crosses over just after the transfer case, and then it runs forward and up. It sounds pretty ridiculous. This is our hanger at the moment. But we got O2 bungs in. Let me show you here. Little O2 sensor. One on each side there, and then that one on the corner. And that's where it just heads up to our headers. And I'll show you that again. So there you go. That's how you build a quick and dirty one night exhaust for a 4th gen 4Runner. We got some serious hanger work to do, but that's where our Y pipe is. Copes together right here. Not the best, but for what we do, it'll work pretty good. This is not going to hang this low. Also, it'll be tucked away up. But I think this one's the 80. Don't know anything.
Is that like a Friends intro to me? Just walk in and start waving. What? Who said my name? Nobody? Cool. Oh, it worked.
Hello, a nut.
And the bolts.
Putting in new ones.
Oh, buddy.
Fresh bolts get you across the finish line.
Always.
Sometimes you just need a good nut.
Fucking got him. This is B-roll. With no audio, because otherwise that's just shit. Yeah, you can watch me hammer bolts in.
All I figured.
Somebody grab me a 19mm wrench.
Twist it. So Gibson sent us 3 different mufflers to choose from for our new exhaust system that we built for the truck. So obviously the sounds of these aren't going to be what a normal 4th gen would sound like, but we're going to try these 3 mufflers and see which one we like the best, and then weld on the one that we're going to run on the race truck. But we figured it'd be a good opportunity to showcase the ability of these mufflers and the different sounds that they make.
Okay, no muffler.
Alright, so after our very scientific experiment of unwelded mufflers slid onto an exhaust pipe, the team has decided that our favorite sounding one is this one. It's a little bit quieter than the shorty one over here, but the sound out of it is really nice, and I think it'll be helpful at like pits and stuff so people can hear each other yelling over the sound of the car. Yeah, so we're gonna weld this one on. What are you building for us?
No, I don't want to be on camera. I'm a thing. A pouch for your tools.
Skyla is building us a tool roll
You put this in there.
that we're going to be able to put in the back of the race car and have all our tools organized. And it's going to be pretty awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're all finished, ready to go to the Wild West 100. We leave tomorrow, just finished welding in the exhaust. Super pumped on how it turned out. We're probably going to do some testing around the shop tonight, but don't really have time to take it out and test it like we did last time. But we are feeling really confident about it. We got a lot finished on the car. We did new bolts and everything on all our shocks. The rear is pretty much all the same. We did weld in these lower link mounts and that panhard correction. And then on the front we basically redid that whole shock tower. So all of this inside here, which is dark as hell. Let me see if I can. So all of this in here is basically redone, new hoop, new shock mount. So basically our whole geometry is different. Everything's way stronger than before. We have a lot more gussets in there. The resi hose is in a better spot than before. Torqued everything. We also did those 333 Fab cam bolts that eliminate those cams. So basically we won't have any alignment shifting issues. Those cams can't slip off and they're less likely to bend our tabs. We got the chase bar back in. We got the headlights remounted. We basically had to make custom mounts for these. We basically just did sheet metal with self-tappers into the housings. But now they're a lot more solid and we shouldn't break them like we did last race. Roof rack is on, of course. And then we lost some hardware on our chase bar last race, so we put in new hardware. We Loctite it at this time. And then I'll show you some small things we did. We put some tabs in just for tying stuff down, like this one's holding our spare tire in, one on each side, basically just for ratchet straps. And we also did them inside the car. So we put a bin back here last race and we had to strap it to our firewall. So this race we'll be able to strap everything down with these tabs, and they'll be way stronger than before, and it'll be in a better location for the straps. But other than that, we're ready to go.
There's a pin on the driver's side that pulls out. Okay. If I can pull it